Good evening. Welcome to this channel about past lives and reincarnation. So, a question from a viewer was this. What is God to you? Right. Now, I read another comment some time ago from another viewer, and it said, this universe was not created by one God. It's a co-creation. I was so pleased to see this comment. This is exactly what I am convinced of. This thing, the universe, is a co-creation. Now, maybe some people think this is totally unreal. You know? They say, oh, this thing is so big, this universe is so big. Must be a big, big guy who made this thing, right? And I'm so small. I could never possibly be part of creating something so big. Well, that's a lie. You know, spirits are not small at all. They could be convinced that they are small, but they are not. You know. They don't have measurements, right? But if you could measure them, you would see it. They're huge, huge things. And they are not things. Well, you can actually try this. Yeah, you can if you want. Put your attention on your neighbor. Right. Did you see something? No. What did you see? If you saw anything, what was it? And then maybe some people, they will say, well, I saw a memory. No. I was visiting my neighbor and I was in his kitchen and now I saw his kitchen. Right. It was a memory. Or maybe you did see something right now, you know. Or you put your attention on the next country. For me, that would be Norway. Oh, did I see something? Was it a postcard that you got sometime? Or was it a picture that you saw from Norway? Or did you actually see something? Right. Now another thing with this thing with God is this. You know, people get used to having a boss, I think, when they live here on Earth. Well, that's the thing, right? You usually have a boss. You know, when you grow up, you have your parents, and then you get a job, maybe. And somebody asks you, so what are you doing? Well, I mow the lawns here. And they say, so who's your boss? And this is perfectly natural, right? You just say, well, it's George. George is my boss. So this idea is from here. This is how it is here. You have a boss. Right? Some of us don't, but it's a common idea that there is a boss, you know. Somebody's in charge. We have the president. We have the government. Right? Or something. Or the king, you know. So we get sort of used to this idea. But once your body dies, this ends. There is no such thing. You know? But maybe people have this idea still. Well, there should be a boss, right? On the other side, there must be a boss, right? Who's in charge? That's not how it works. You can move up to a spirit and you say, so who's your boss? And he will just laugh in your face. Your non-existent face. He will just laugh at you. It's a ridiculous idea. I think maybe people have this idea that you sort of move up the ladder and you find one guy who's like he's the seventh in charge. And then you move up a bit, you meet the second in charge. And then you move up, and then you find the guy who's in charge of the whole thing, you know? There is no such spirit there, you know? Because this is not how big spirits operate. They are not in control over other spirits. And you know, free spirits, you can't control them. That's the thing. So in the free spirit universe, there's no such thing. Absolutely not. If you ask me, this is an invention by humans. And I think maybe it is because this is how it should be. There must be somebody in charge of the whole thing. And it's the same guy who created the whole thing. So of course, he's in charge. He made this. So this is my idea of God. This is, well, it doesn't exist. That's the thing. There is no such thing. No. There are huge spirits, of course. Now, huge spirits, when they interact with each other, they are free. And maybe they will play some game or something, I don't know what they are up to. But the one guy will not say, well, you are my boss. Or the other one will say, I'm your boss. I decide what you should do now. It's ridiculous. That's not how it works. See? That's my idea of gods. I think we can call some spirits gods because they are so big. I think so. But it's not the traditional God that you read about or learn about. It's God you're supposed to fear him. Because he's in charge and he can do whatever he wants. That's not how it works. Right, so that's how I see this. Right, be good.